They told her billionaires didn't fall in love. They collected things. Companies. Cities. Power. Clara Mayfield believed them, right up until the moment a stranger in a navy suit looked at her like she was the only real thing in the room. She didn't know his name yet. She didn't know his world was built on glass towers and private jets. She didn't know that one conversation would quietly rewrite the rest of her life. All she knew was this: the way he smiled felt dangerous in the softest possible way, not because it would hurt, but because she might never want to walk away from it. And somewhere between her laugh and his steady gaze, a billionaire made a promise to himself he wouldn't be able to keep. He wouldn't let her go. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more romantic stories. Clara Mayfield had always thought love was a quiet thing, the kind you felt in the soft corners of your life. But when she met Julian Ashford, billionaire and owner of Ashford Enterprises, everything changed. He was nothing like the stories tabloids told, no brooding mansion dramas, no cold glances. He laughed easily, remembered her favorite coffee order on the first day, and had a way of making the world feel smaller, warmer. They met at a charity gala, a chance encounter that neither had expected to matter beyond that evening. Julian, wearing a crisp navy suit, had been captivated by Clara's honest laughter as she explained the importance of art programs for underprivileged children. By the end of the night, he asked her to dinner. And dinner turned into lunch, and lunch into long walks along sunlit streets, and soon, Julian couldn't imagine a day without her. Clara, cautious yet captivated, found herself sharing pieces of herself she hadn't shown anyone: childhood sketches, her favorite novels, even the silly playlists she hid from the world. Julian listened to it all, his blue eyes soft with a kind of admiration that made her chest ache pleasantly. "I've never met anyone like you," he confessed one evening on the terrace of his penthouse, the city lights sparkling below. "And I don't think I could ever let you go." Clara's heart skipped. She'd always feared such declarations, so absolute, so unrelenting, but Julian's words felt safe. She smiled, leaning into him. "Then don't," she whispered. For months, their love unfolded like sunlight over water, warm, steady, and brilliantly simple. They danced in the kitchen, argued over the silliest things, and found joy in quiet mornings together. Julian even bought a little art studio for Clara, tucked in a sunny corner of the city, so she could paint to her heart's content. Yet, one evening, as Clara was hanging a new painting, Julian received a letter that made him pause mid-step. His fingers trembled as he held it, and his usual composure faltered. "Everything okay?" Clara asked, turning from her canvas. Julian looked at her, his eyes filled with a mixture of awe and worry. "Clara, there's something I need to tell you," he said, his voice soft but urgent. And just as she stepped closer, the envelope slipped from his hands, fluttering to the floor. Inside was a secret that could change everything, yet Julian couldn't bring himself to speak it aloud. Clara bent to pick up the fallen envelope, but Julian reached for it at the same time. Their fingers brushed, sending a familiar spark through her, yet this time, it felt different. Hesitant. Unsteady. "Julian," she said gently, straightening. "You're scaring me a little." He exhaled slowly, as if bracing himself. "I don't want to," he admitted. I don't want to lose you." She searched his face, the man she loved so deeply, the man who watched her paint in silence, who kissed her knuckles when he thought she wasn't looking, who had built his entire emotional world around her without realizing it. "You won't," she said. "Not by telling me the truth." Julian nodded, though his eyes stayed fixed on the floor. He finally picked up the envelope and turned it over in his hands, as if weighing the past against the present. "I wasn't always planning to stay," he said quietly. "When we met, I was already preparing to leave everything behind, my company, my role, even this city." Clara's breath caught. "Leave?" "Yes. I had an agreement in place," he continued. "A long-term one. It would change the course of my life completely. I thought it was what I wanted. What I needed. And now? She asked. Julian looked up then, his gaze full of unmistakable devotion. Now I can't imagine a future that doesn't include you. Her heart swelled, but uncertainty curled beneath it. So why does this letter matter? He stepped closer, close enough that she could feel the warmth of him. Because the decision deadline is tomorrow, he said. And if I choose you, everything else changes. Clara swallowed. Love wasn't supposed to feel like a crossroads, but maybe it always did. She reached for his hand. Julian, I never wanted to be something you had to give up the world for. He tightened his grip gently. You're not something I'm giving up the world for, he said. You are my world now. Silence wrapped around them, thick with possibility. Clara leaned into him, resting her forehead against his chest, listening to his heartbeat, steady, determined, afraid. What happens tomorrow? She whispered. Julian kissed the top of her head, lingering there as if memorizing the moment. That, he said softly, depends on whether you're willing to take a leap with me. Clara pulled back just enough to look at him, her answer forming on her lips. When her phone buzzed. She glanced down at the screen, and her expression shifted. Julian frowned. What is it? She looked up slowly, eyes wide with surprise and something dangerously close to hope. It's about me, she said. Julian, there's something you don't know. And before he could ask another word, the doorbell rang. A year had passed since that night at the charity gala, and Clara Mayfield's art studio was alive with color, sunlight spilling across canvases that seemed to dance. Julian Ashford leaned casually against the doorway, his navy suit replaced by a soft cashmere sweater and rolled-up sleeves, a warm smile lighting his face. Another masterpiece? He asked, watching her add the finishing brushstroke to a portrait of a little girl holding a kite. Clara laughed, stepping back to admire it. I think so. It's my favorite one yet. She turned and caught his gaze, the same steady blue eyes that had captivated her from the start. Julian walked over, slipping his hand into hers. I think I have a favorite too, he said, pressing a gentle kiss to the back of her hand. Life had changed in ways neither had anticipated. Julian had stepped back from his corporate obligations just enough to truly live, and Clara's art was flourishing, her work displayed in galleries across the city. But the greatest transformation was the life they had built together, simple mornings, quiet dinners, shared laughter, and a love that was both effortless and intentional. I can't believe how far we've come, Clara said softly, resting her head against his shoulder. Neither can I, Julian admitted, wrapping an arm around her. But there's one thing I've always known. Clara lifted her eyes. What's that? That I couldn't let you go, he whispered, echoing words from long ago, now richer with promise. The two stood in the sunlit studio, surrounded by color, warmth, and the soft hum of life, feeling as though nothing could shake this moment. Just then, the doorbell rang. Clara and Julian exchanged a glance, a smile tugging at the corners of both their mouths. Who could that be? Clara asked. Julian squeezed her hand. Maybe, it's the start of another adventure. And with hearts full of love and eyes bright with wonder, they stepped toward the door, ready to meet whatever the world might bring, together.